Welcome, everyone. We're glad you're here today. And I'm so grateful we have Kathy Angel here, as well as Kathy Murray and Eric and Robin, to lead us in music. So why don't we stand and we'll sing together.
I am opening up in sweet surrender to the luminous love light of the One. I am opening up in sweet surrender to the luminous love light of the One. I am opening up in sweet surrender to the luminous love light of the One. I am opening up in sweet surrender to the luminous love light of the One. I am opening. I am opening. I am opening. I am opening. I am opening up in sweet surrender to the luminous love light of the One. I am opening up in sweet surrender to the luminous love light of the One. I am opening. I am opening. I am opening. I am opening. Let's hear ya. I am opening up in sweet surrender to the luminous love light of the One. I am opening up in sweet surrender to the luminous love light of the One. I am opening. I am opening. I am opening. I am opening. All right. Take a moment to greet someone you don't know yet. Supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. Oh, my soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. Oh, my soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. I am getting a message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. 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 And if we have any children here today, invite you to come up to the stage and we'll sing you out to your outdoor classroom. Hooray for the world, I'm glad to be on it. Hooray for the world, I'm glad to be on it. Hooray for the world, it's a special place. We've got Mother Nature and the human race. The world's got trees and bumblebees, rivers and lakes and the open seas, mountains and valleys and animals too, and the sun that shines for me and you. Hooray for the world, I'm glad to be on it. Hooray for the world, I'm glad to be on it. Hooray for the world, it's a special place. We got Mother Nature and the human race. We got Mother Nature and the human race.
Thank you, Kathy. Doesn't that make you just want to go out there with all those little fingers and toes that are walking out there? Mother Nature calls us all. And I'm so glad I'm Wanda Maddox. I'm glad I'm Wanda Maddox. But and I am so happy to be here with all of you. And I am your practitioner of the day today. And assisting me today is Cindy Clay. That's a poem. So if you will join with me now, we'll have our morning prayer together. There is only one magnificent universal power, the Spirit of love and light. And is it ever present with us this morning for sure? It is always available, and it is within each and everything. I know as I come here to this place on Sunday morning, I will see the beautiful faces, the loving hearts, the smiling eyes, and the love that is present in all. And I am blessed. Each and every soul here is a blessing for us today. And we say thank you, sweet Spirit, for the truth of love and light, and for this life together. And so it is.
Sorry, the smoke. The smoke has really gotten to my voice today. Okay. We are holy, holy, holy. We are holy, holy, holy. We are holy, holy, holy. We are whole. We are holy, holy, holy. We are holy, holy, holy. We are holy, holy, holy. We are whole. Spirit divine, come to me, feeling love, healing me. to see beauty and love lives in me. I am holy, holy, holy. I am holy, holy, holy. I am holy, holy, holy. I am whole. I am holy, holy, holy. I am holy, holy, holy. I am holy, holy, holy. I am whole. Spirit divine, come to me, feeling love, healing me. Open my heart, allow me to see beauty and love surrounding me. You are holy, holy, holy. You are holy, holy, holy. You are holy, holy, holy. You are whole. You are holy, holy, holy. You are holy, holy, holy. You are holy, holy, holy. You are whole. I am whole. We are whole.
So, for the last 12 years, we've had a women's retreat, and the tradition has become that we would, the Sunday after we got back, as many of us as possible, there were 31 of us total, would come up to the stage and sing you the retreat song. And before I invite the women to do that, just an explanation of the retreat song, because our theme this year was the River of Joy. And what that refers to, it's a metaphor for the spirit that is always flowing in us. And so the song is connected to that. So can I invite all the women that were at the retreat to come on up that are here today? Got it? All the way up. I know, why be chicken, right? Sovereignty. Come on up, come on up, come on up. Maybe some, I said they could hide behind me if they needed to. Yeah. Are you guys ready? Almost ready? One more. Come on up, come on up. Yeah. Here, I'll stand here. How about that? Daughter. All right, Carrie, we're ready as we're going to get. Okay. You can sing along if you'd like. Down into the river, gonna dunk down all the way down. Dunk down into the river, gonna let it go. Here I go, letting go. Oh Lord, here I go, letting go, letting go all the way down. Letting go all the way down. I'm gonna dunk down into the river, gonna dunk down all the way down. Singing, dunk down into the river, gonna let it go all the way down. Singing, oh Lord, here I go, letting go. Oh Lord, here I go, letting go. Oh Lord.
That was so good.
Yeah.
Well, as you can see, we had a great time. Super fun. And a special thanks for, there were several people that couldn't come because they came from far away. Like we had Canadians and we had Oregonians and they had to go home. But I wanted to especially thank Wendy James, who's out with the kids, Mary Ballou, whose cat is doing something weird and she's with the cat, and and one of those Canadian wonderful people, Liv Daniel, who were my support team for the retreat, as well as Price Tsai, who was our movement person. Thank you, Price. Good stuff, good stuff. So I'll just go right into the talk, now that we're all sort of, at least the women are. Our theme for the year is Your Soul's Compass, and it's a look at all the different ways that we orient ourselves to the soul's purpose in life, rather than the external ideas that other people might have had for us, and even we might have had for ourselves. And so this month we're looking at the idea of belonging as part of the journey of the soul. And as you may, if you've been coming for a while, you know that the actual title of the month is Tapping the Lodestone of Belonging. And I had to look up lodestone. You know, it's not actually a word I use very often. How about you? But it was a fascinating thing because it's actually a naturally occurring magnetic rock. And they used them in early times to guide ships, sailing ships, like long, long ago. And so it's really meant to talk about how to touch or tap into the magnetic pull of belonging, which is actually at a crisis point in our society. Maybe not for you, and I hope not, but overall, with the pandemic and moving out of the pandemic and being isolated for so long, as well as with the digital universe that we can all dive into and go down rabbit holes all we want, belonging has become sort of I don't want to say a lost art, because you're all here, but it's definitely something that is even challenging just on a daily basis. My family and I went to my aunt's memorial in Connecticut, and my aunt's family has been gathering, it's an East Coast thing, right? And so every summer she had 4 daughters who had at least 3 daughters, sometimes less, sometimes more. And so there's all these people at the lake house in Connecticut. It's a thing. And if they can, they go and they stay the whole summer. So very cool, very neat. Not something I've been able to manifest. Actually, never tried. So we all went to the lake house where the entire clan, including now grandchildren and friends, and we're all at the lake house, and they'd been there since early summer, and we got there the end of July. So we're like, bopping in, and there's nobody around, and it's like, oh, well, we're here, I guess we'll sit on the veranda, the screened-in, bugs in Connecticut, screened-in veranda, and just kind of hang out and talk to each other. But it was awkward. And it was awkward every day because they all had been there for months. And they had their routines, and they, they're going on a hike, and they're going out to swim, and they're going to go play tennis, and I'm going to go get groceries for this horde. And so there was like sort of an awkward time where we had to fit in and belong to that clan. And the last day we were there, that happened. We were there 5 days. So every day we would do awkward in the morning, and then we would go out to lunch, just my family, and then we'd go back to our Airbnb and stay there until dinner when everybody came to be fed. So at that point it stopped being awkward because now there were a lot of people and we could kind of blend in. But that's what I'm talking about is it wasn't unusual, actually, that unusual, to feel awkward around other people. Maybe you've had that. Maybe it was just my family. Hope not, because this whole talk is about that. Not about Connecticut. But it's about how to work with belonging and how to actually develop the capacity to integrate the awkward so that there can be a going beyond it into true connection, which happened for us, but it took us a while to match the energy and figure that out. And maybe that's true for some of you too. So I was thinking about the wonderful Kabbalistic story that I wanted to tell you, because it's a very powerful story from the 16th century from Jewish mysticism. And there was a rabbi in that time called Rabbi Isaac Luria, and he was a fascinating teacher. And so he presented the idea. It was floating around in mystical Judaism. It wasn't just his idea, but he crystallized it by talking about how the boundless, formless, unified Holy One wished to know its holy self, and so it contracted and poured itself into vessels. But the divine radiance was too much for these limited contents, and so they shattered, scattering shards of broken light across the universe, giving birth to all that is. So it sounds sort of like a big bang, right? And so what that meant is that in the world, in Jewish mysticism, are all these scattered bits of radiance, of light. And Luria said that the light gets trapped in the darkness of this world sometimes, and the Holy One needs us to participate in the unfolding goodness of creation. And he even proposed that human beings were created by the Holy One to excavate and lift the shards of light from the dense predicament of existence and restore the vessels to wholeness. That's our job. And this teaching is called Tikkun Olam, the mending of the world. And so for me, one of the things that that teaching speaks to is, why are we here? Have you ever asked yourself that question? Why are we here? And if it's really bad, why am I here now? And it's a really valuable question to ask. And Rabbi Luria answered that question, because I'm sure he was getting it in the 16th century. Remember, that was the time of the plague. So there was a lot of questioning going on. There was also a lot of persecution of Jewish people. And so it would be very, very normal for a lot of people all over that world to say, why are we here? And why is this happening to us? And, we've passed through a time or two lately where that question might have come up. And the answer is, well, we're here to mend the world. We've been created by the Holy One. And of course, we don't locate the Holy One anywhere other than internally, inside, spirit within. You've heard a lot of words today about, come to me, Spirit, and, oh, Lord, here I go, letting go. And you might, if you're new, think, I'm in one of those churches where, they put God somewhere else. And actually, that's not the case. But it's fun to talk about it like that once in a while, just to belong to a larger concept. So I digress. In that same time frame, in the 16th century, there was a woman born named Julian of Norwich. And when she was 7, the bubonic plague hit Norwich and destroyed 60% of its population within 21 years. And she became a nun during that time, and a mystical nun. And she, of course, was asked the same question. Why are we here? Why is this happening to us? What have we done wrong? Et cetera, Catholic ideation. And she actually had a mystical experience where she was shown multiple visions of why we were here. And this is the distillation of what she was shown in these visions. All shall be well, and all manner of things shall be well. For there is a force of love moving through the universe that holds us fast and will never let us go. So she too was looking at this very large picture of things, saying, I know it looks really bad, and it is really bad, but there's also this thing happening, this force of love is what she named the Holy One. And this one will not let us go, will hold us if we allow that to happen. And so these teachings have held me during really difficult times in my personal life when, I don't know if any of you have been through a divorce. Show of hands? Okay, a lot of people. So you may have experienced what I did, which was about half of my friends disappeared. It was 20 years ago. We didn't know how to deal with that at all. I actually don't think we still do. But, at that point, it was choosing sides, as if there was a side. So belonging took on this other kind of like, wow, it was kind of a divorce plague for me. It's like, oh, all these people are gone and never to return. And okay, how do I belong in this new world that I'm in? How do I touch the lodestone of belonging and allow it to pull me instead of pushing myself onto people? How do I allow it to pull me in the direction of the people that are my people, the people that are aligned with the same ideas and thoughts and see the world in similar fashion? Maybe not entirely. That would be boring if we all were just like, yep, that's the way it is. But on the other hand, it's kind of nice and comforting to have people who go, yeah, you're on the right track. I might not agree with you over here or there, but, yeah, I get it, In fact, Goethe, another person from that, a little bit after that horrifying time, said, to know someone who thinks and feels with us, and who, though distant, is close to us in spirit, this makes the earth an inhabited garden. And so they're all, they're trying to talk about this thing that when the practicalities come down to it, it's sometimes difficult to figure out how to find your people, how to belong, how to be part of. And so I have a couple of ideas. One is I have a wonderful teacher named William Martin. He's written a number of books, and he's a Taoist. And the Tao is a fascinating thing. And this is what he said. This is called the couples, Tao Te Ching. And this is what he says. It's based on the actual Tao chapters. So if you're a Taoist, this is chapter 21. You can look it up. It's not at all similar to what he's saying on one level, but totally. So he says, there is a light that fills the cosmos. It is the unified field of energy that some call God, some call mystery, some call the Tao, and some give no name at all. It doesn't matter what you call the light, but realize that it manifests in a special way in your relationships. It illuminates your lives together and cannot be extinguished. And then at every end of the chapter, he has a kind of like an exercise to do. And this is, of course, for couples, but it works for everything. So maybe at the coffee hour, I don't know, it might be a little too intimate. Silence and look attentively at your friend this evening. Do you see the light? Look carefully. And I love that because that was one of the practices that brought me to my people, is I began, I was so open and raw and available that I just started looking for the light in people. And I mean everyone, not just the people I liked, but everyone. And so I would go somewhere and I was alone a lot, so I would sit and just kind of watch and see the radiance in other people and see the light, and also see how people had tamped down their light to try to belong to their work environment or to a relationship, which maybe that was projection, I don't know. So we need each other. We need to have our people. And there are so many reasons why, but one of them I just recently experienced. And so I was driving Price and Katie down to the women's retreat. And I was talking about, my plans, and I was afraid. I was expressing some fear about, moving forward with these plans of mine and doing these things. And these young women, younger than me anyway, were like, "Oh my God, I don't know you this way. You are wildly creative, and I can't wait to see those plans put into action because it's going to be incredible." Well, not everybody's going to say that to you, And I'm in the car driving, and all of a sudden I'm flashed back to a time when I was in 3rd grade and I had to write this creative writing story, and I was completely stuck. Couldn't think of a thing. And my dad, great dad, he's like, what are you worrying about? And I said, well, I have to write this creative story, and I can't think of anything to say. And he said, oh my gosh, give me the prompt. Got the prompt, and he just went off on a story. And I didn't take his story, but what it did for me is what those young women did for me in the car. It opened my mind and my heart to remember this different aspect of myself, this different way of being that I knew how to do, but I'd forgotten. That's why we need people. And we need certain people that are able to reflect back the things that they see, that the light, the radiance that they see when we forget. And so maybe you have a lot of people like that in your life. I hope so. But this community has a lot of people that are quite radiant. And while they might not be your next best friend, they're here because we celebrate the light in each other. And try to work on our own light so it can shine very brightly. One of the things that shuts us down when we're trying to find our people is judgment, of course. And so I've brought you one of the tools that Brene Brown has offered, and we're going to have a little bit of a buzz, a little hum, when we play it through the speakers here. The live stream people, you're so lucky you're not going to have that hum. But the hum is worth it for what she's sharing, so I hope you can kind of hear above that little hum. So let's see what Brene has to say about how to belong and what to do, specifically what to do.
So what is empathy, and why is it very different than sympathy? Empathy fuels connection. Sympathy drives disconnection. Empathy, it's very interesting. Teresa Wiseman is a nursing scholar who studied professions, very diverse professions where empathy is relevant, and came up with 4 qualities of empathy. Perspective taking, the ability to take the perspective of another person or recognize their perspective as their truth. Staying out of judgment, not easy when you enjoy it as much as most of us do. Recognizing emotion in other people and then communicating that. Empathy is feeling with people. And to me, I always think of empathy as this kind of sacred space when someone's kind of in a deep hole and they shout out from the bottom and they say, I'm stuck, it's dark, I'm overwhelmed. And then we look and we say, hey, you climb down. I know what it's like down here, and you're not alone. Sympathy is, ooh, it's bad, no. You want a sandwich? Empathy is a choice, and it's a vulnerable choice, because in order to connect with you, I have to connect with something in myself that knows that feeling. Rarely, if ever, does an empathic response begin with "at least." Yeah. And we do it all the time. Because you know what? Someone just shared something with us that's incredibly painful, and we're trying to silver lining it. I don't think that's a verb, but I'm using it as one. We're trying to put the silver lining around it. So, I had a miscarriage. Oh, at least you know you can get pregnant. I think my marriage is falling apart. At least you have a marriage. John's getting kicked out of school. At least Sarah is an A student. But one of the things we do sometimes in the face of very difficult conversations is we try to make things better. If I share something with you that's very difficult, I'd rather you say, "I don't even know what to say right now. I'm just so glad you told me." Because the truth is, rarely can a response make something better. What makes something better is connection.
She's a brilliant teacher. And so, in a minute and a half, she just told you the whole story, basically. And so, in order to open to our people, there are a couple tricks of the trade that have to do with what she was speaking to. One is to practice being present with, not for, which implies a power dynamic where I'm there for you as if you're some poor victim, right? Nobody likes that. So being present with means that we have to work with our own discomfort around whatever is being shared. And number one, not give advice. Have you noticed that? Usually, I'm working with someone who has cancer, and everyone's first response is, "Have you tried this? Have you done this? What about this? There's this great natural da-da-da, and what about that? And you shouldn't go to that doctor, but this one's really good." And I mean, it's overwhelming to my friend. So no advice, which, ooh, that's hard. Because, usually it's a lot easier from our chair to see what would be helpful in theirs. So no advice. And the other thing that is hard for Irish families like mine, my family liked to amplify or minimize. There was no middle ground. So if you were really suffering and they were really uncomfortable, they minimized everything. "Oh, it's not that bad." What? Or if it was something that was uncomfortable but kind of juicy, "Oh my God, did you notice? Blah, 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 yada." So this amplification or this minimizing of things can really take us away from a person that we're seeking to connect with. So no amplifying and no minimizing, but just being present with. And so thinking and feeling with us is what Goethe was talking about in The World Becomes an Inhabited Garden. So really, I'm speaking to our opportunity to take the radiance that we are in whatever way seems right, because, not everybody has to be like in the front lines of really difficult situations, but you will encounter people that you really want to connect with. Whether it's a waitress that's serving you, or your dentist, or someone you'd really like to have as a new friend. And in every case, being present with, listening deeply, is the way to begin to build the bridge of connection. And so for me, this has been life-changing in terms of how to be with my people. And it's also, unfortunately for me, a constant practice. Because, of course, by this time in my life, I have a lot of knowledge about all kinds of things that would help. Particularly knowledge that would help my children who don't want to hear it. No thanks, Mom. And so it's been being present with is powerful. So may we all touch the lodestone of belonging in more and more ways and allow the radiance of our lives to be a light, a lamp in the darkness for someone who maybe is really struggling. So I'll do a prayer for that. Here and now, in this moment, the mending of the world is happening in every corner of this beautiful earth of ours. In every place, in every village and town and city, in jungles and forests and deserts, on rivers and in oceans, all over the globe, there are people dedicating themselves to being the ones that seek to mend and heal and open to the radiance of life. Not just for themselves, which has to happen first, but as they gain more and more light within, there's a recognition that the light is needed in different places, and generously, powerfully, it is offered up. And so for a moment, let's, in this prayer, think of all those people. We don't know them, but we know they're there. And let's know that whatever they need, whether it is courage, support, materials, money, friendship, whatever it is, that right now they have what they need to move forward in this incredible gift that they're giving. And likewise, let's know for one another that there is a powerful force of love, just as Julian of Norwich said, that is holding us fast, pouring its love out, offering it continually to us and through us and with us. And so whatever we need to be that love in motion, to be light in the dark places, whatever we need, right now, we now have it. And in ways expected and unexpected, we are supported beyond our wildest imaginings in being the light in our small circle that joins with the greater light that is happening everywhere. And I'm grateful for the willingness to be part of a greater idea of love and healing in the world for you and for me. And so it is. Thank you. The ushers are preparing for the offertory, and I wanted to just tell you one thing that I didn't include in the talk that I heard about from Katie, my daughter. She was talking about this really cool organization called Stand In Family. And you can read that two ways. Stand in family, like I'm standing in to be your family, or stand in family. And it's a group of people that have joined together. It was started by a male hairdresser in Tennessee, who found out that some of his clients were queer or gay or lesbian, and that they were going to get married because they could finally, and nobody was coming to their wedding. And so he said, hey, I'll stand in, I'll be your family, and I have some friends that would also love to be there for your special day. And he invited all of the people that he knew on Facebook and Instagram to join this group. And not just for, big occasions like weddings or graduations, but small occasions too, because sometimes people spend their birthday alone. So I wanted to tell you about that because this is one of the cool ways light shows up. And Stand In Family is going strong, and there's thousands of people all over now who are connected to people who are alone. And when they need something, it's not just for their occasions now. It's like, hey, I'm going to be texting you. If you don't want me to text you, you just let me know. But hey, I'm standing in. I am now your dad. Good news, bad news. And so it's like that. And I thought, what a cool story. I hadn't heard about that. Maybe you have. But hope for the world. All right, ushers, you can come forward.
The God in me beholds the God in you. Namaste. The God in me beholds the God in you. Namaste. All is beautiful. All is well. All is beautiful. All is well. The God in me beholds the God in you. Namaste. The God in me beholds the God in you. Namaste. All is beautiful. All is well. All is beautiful. All is well.
Thank you, guys. Great morning of song. Just a few announcements today. We have a former member of our community who moved away, and she's going to be coming back to visit us. And she's not only a Reiki master, but she's a certified sound healer and singer and speaker. And she does this incredible work with singing bowls. And she's going to be here in the sanctuary on Thursday, Thursday, August 24th at 7 p.m. It's a love offering. The suggestion is $25, but no one's going to be turned away for lack of funds. And if you would like to come a little early, bring a blanket or a yoga mat, because she'll probably have us laying down, and she'll be offering sound healing for us. So that's coming up right away, so feel free to be a part of it. And then our very last, our last Two Dogs and a Parrot book study is coming up on this Tuesday. It's an in-person gathering, and this one's special, and anyone can come even if they haven't been coming to the other two. But it's going to be a discussion of, the sacredness of animals and their healing power. And then we're going to be doing an animal blessing, and Reverend Zena is going to be helping Francine Kitchen, our practitioner, with that. So people will be bringing their animals. And so even if you don't have an animal, it might be kind of cool to come and see that. And that's this Tuesday from 6 to 7:30. And we have our drum circles coming up this Wednesday evening at 7 o'clock. The drum circle on the fourth Wednesday is different than the second Wednesday. The one on the fourth, they teach you some of the drum patterns, and it's aligned with the chakra system. So the rhythms are awakening the chakras. So very interesting. Don't forget that if you are in recovery and you'd like to join the Science of Mind discussion recovery group, they meet on Wednesdays at 5:30. And I think the rest of it can wait, and we can have short announcements today. So why don't we stand, and we'll sing our way into our coffee hour or wherever you need to go.
And shine your light. You know the time is right. You gotta go out and shine your light. Go out and shine. Go out and shine. You gotta go out and shine your light. You is right. You gotta go out and shine your light. Go out and shine. Go out and shine. Step out and take a chance. Walk the talk, join the dance. Relax, enjoy the ride. Let kindness be your guide. You gotta go out and shine your light. You know the time is right. You gotta go out and shine your light. Go out and shine. Go out and shine. One voice, one hand, one heart. Wanna change, make a start. We're one big family. What's good for you is good for me. I gotta go out and shine your light. You know the time is right. You gotta go out and shine your light. Go out and shine. Go out and shine. Go out and shine. Go out and shine. Have a great week, everybody.